Okay, I'm reworking the video from a couple of days ago talking about this protest here because people seem to be, upset about the way and kind of misinterpreting what I said. But yeah, after hearing some of the things about Extinction Rebellion, I can't support them completely, all right? But I do support a protest at this bowl. Do I support them pouring corn syrup on the bowl and the way they did it? Probably not the most tastefully done, all right? But the point is that this bull here, they get arrested for this, all right? And yes, they were vandalizing. They were breaking the law, all right? It was not, they were vandalizing it, all right? But the fact is, they get arrested while the vagrants, nothing happens with them. That's the point that's the point I was really trying to make here, is that, yes, what they did, spilling corn syrup on the bowl, is vandalizing it. It is vandalizing it. It is vandalism, all right? It is. I take it back. I'm wrong. I'm sorry. It is vandalism, all right? They did vandalize it. But how come this is allowed? How come the vagrants are allowed to hang out in our subways, passed out, a lot of them violent, they're strung out, they were on drugs, and the police do nothing? To me, I view this as a much greater threat to my personal safety than those protesters on that bull. But the police do nothing about that. They arrest 93 people for defacing the bull. And yeah, they defaced the bull, all right? Not the best way to do things. Meanwhile, they have serious crime. Fresh Meadows. Fresh Meadows is going downhill. My friend Andy lives there. It's going downhill. He's dealing with the problems. He shared with me that article. Then we have this, where a homeless person killed 4 other homeless people. All right? He had a long rap sheet. He was a violent person. Why was he out on the streets? But we go ahead and we arrest people defacing a bull. If you're going to arrest people for defacing a bull, then you should also be arresting this. And this guy, a homeless guy, went in and attempted to rape a woman. All right? So we have all these problems going on. These people shouldn't be out on the streets. And the police do nothing because they're only interested in protecting a certain demographic, while we get to deal with all the problems. And then we have this. The Friendlies robbed in Ronkonkoma. 7:30 at night. Somebody walks in with a gun. And News 12 doesn't even cover it that much. That's coming in another video. We have these people that are up to no good on our streets, and the police do nothing. But go ahead and deface a bull because it represents Wall Street, you're going to get hauled away. But we got to deal with all these dangerous homeless people, and nobody does anything about it. Because, again, it's not hurting a certain demographic. Well, if you notice downtown, they'd probably be hauled away. But for the rest of us, we got to deal with all those problems. Just because. Begging on the streets all over the place, harassing people. Why don't they get charged with disorderly conduct? No. Because they're not going against Wall Street. Well, I am going against Wall Street, and I am urging you to join me and fight Wall Street, because if we don't stop Wall Street, not only will this area be ruined, our planet will be ruined too. All right? That bull, and I think the Fearless Girl needs to come back, be put right in front of that bull, because the Fearless Girl used to be there against that bull. People, look, people just love the bull. They love the bull. They're obsessed with what that bull symbolizes, which to me it symbolizes greed, arrogance, snobbery, racism. All right? So, that's what I think. And that bull keeps taking dumps on our lives, especially here in the middle of the island, because we don't count, because we're not part of a certain demographic. Well, that bull controls New York City government. It's out of control. It's out of control. And I'm also going to add this into the video, too, because we are having problems with trespassers on the tracks. All right? My colleague Matt is doing a video tonight about this. There was also a trespasser on the tracks. Oh, look, they canceled the mainline train. Oh, 226 from Penn due to Hicksville. Oh, the 252, that train is overcrowded. Why did they cancel that? That's discrimination. They didn't cancel any Babylon trains. They canceled a Port Washington train. All right, did cancel a Penn due to Ballard. It did cancel a Babylon train. But the fact is we have all this chaos going on in the city because there's no law enforcement. We have these vagrants all over the place. You get a protest, boom. Protesters get, and Metro North, here's the problem that happened in Metro North. All right? There was a trespasser that was struck, let's see where this was here. Person struck by a train in the vicinity of Melrose, Tremont. All right? And then we have what happened on New York City Transit yesterday. All right? Let's go to New York City Transit. The 7 train shut down in the height of rush hour because a trespasser was on the tracks again and hit by a train. This happened yesterday. I have to go back to yesterday. And my Matt normally covers this. But this is what's happening to the city. This is what's happening. Everything is falling apart. Transportation is falling apart. Let's see if I can find this thing here for the 7 train. Here we go. So a person struck by a train right here. All right, this happened. This was mass chaos on the 7 yesterday. It was shut down in the middle of rush hour, and it was just complete chaos because there was somebody. We need to get these people off the streets. All right, they can't be hanging out on the streets anymore. All right, if the police went after the bums with the same zest they went after those protesters, then I wouldn't even be having this issue. But it's all about the double standards. So in the end, like I said so many times before, it's do or die. We have favoritism and corruption going on. A bunch of protesters vandalize a bull downtown and cause a problem. That's the main illegal act that they did, and they get hauled away. All of them get hauled away by the police. Yet we have truly dangerous people out there on the streets wandering into our subways. Who knows if they're even terrorists? And nothing is done. Because every single incident that's happened hasn't happened downtown. Because that's where the finance professionals are, and that trendy area of Brooklyn, that gets taken care of. But the rest of the city is just left to fester with all these problems. And we have the same thing in the middle of the island, where we have all these problems in the middle of the island, whether it be street lights out, bums hanging out on our stations, empty towns, illegal use of property. You just visit the Save Area Hicksville Facebook page and you see what goes on. It's only taken care of for those people on the South Shore because they're a certain demographic. All right? So like I said, it's do or die. We do need more protests in front of that bull, but we also need them to be peaceful. And yes, they were sort of peaceful, but no vandalism. All right? You can stand there in front of it. You can put signs. You can even lie down. All right? But the minute you do something to something that's not yours, that's when it becomes a crime. And yes, they did break the law. All right? I was wrong about that. You understand why I'm angry, though, because they get hauled away. Yet we have many more serious people out there that are very dangerous, and the police could care less because, again, it's all about protecting a certain demographic, and that was the point I was trying to make. So thank you for watching, and take care.